Like NIRF is looking after the ranking, which is done yearly. NBA is also there. I will only talk about it. There are many magazines also who do the ranking, but I will specially be focused to the government entities. Like this, NIRF is there, which is looking after the ranking, which is done yearly as per the report the institution submits. The NBA is there, which is under the AICTE, which does the program accreditations like professional programs or engineering programs, and especially in our NAAC we do the institutional accreditation. So institutional accreditation means we don't do the departmental accreditation, the program accreditation, we do the institutional accreditation, and there is a certain validity in NAAC that as per NAAC terms, if an institution is coming for ANA process of NAAC, we give a validity of 5 years. Recently, many of the institutions has been accredited in NAAC, and in UP also I will like to the 3 institution has been awarded with the A++ grade, and then one more medical industry is also there. But in Northeast also, just because you are from Northeast, I would like to tell there is actually there is a recent we can say recently good you can hike in the number of accreditation process we are noticing. And if anything we can, as before starting this presentation, I would like to say if you have any problem related, if your institution has already come or willing to come for the NAAC ANA process, I will be happy to answer you if any of the queries related to the NAAC process also. So way of evaluating, the way of assessing the institution which are coming for the ranking or for the accreditation, the structure is different, but both the terms, so both the terms actually reflects what is the quality that is prevailing in that particular institution. That's why in my point of view and in point of view of NAAC, we say that this NAAC or this accreditation or ranking both aims at competitive excellence, improvement. Suppose we say improvement means whenever the institution come for NAAC process, we say as a cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. Cycle 1 means the first time institution is coming, we categorize in the cycle 1 process. If it gets accredited from A++ to C grade, earlier we have different grading pattern was there, star ranking system was there, like A, B, C was there. Now we have recently, after the introduction of RAF, that is revised accreditation framework, we have changed our accreditation pattern. Like now we give a grade from A++ to C grade. C grade is the last grade which the institutions get, and D is like institution has been assessed, but due to there are 7 criteria, because we are like NRF is there, NBA is there, we have certain criteria on the basis of which we evaluate the institution. So like NAAC, we give a 5-year validity. So suppose if the institutions come for ANA process and it has been awarded with B+ grade, so we continuously ask them for an improvement. How we ask for improvement? We ask them to submit the AQR. AQR is like a term that is called annual quality assurance report, which the institution has to mandatory, that is mandatory for the institution, they have to submit the annual quality assurance report each academic year. Means suppose in this year you have been accredited, as an institution you have been accredited, so it is a mandatory that the institution has to submit AQR, then only he can come, or as an institution can come for the next cycle. Next cycle means the second time you are coming, then it is the cycle 2, then second time it is cycle 3. So till now cycle 5 institution is with us. Many of the institutions are in the cycle 5 also. So from the 1994 we have been started, this NAAC accreditation program was started, and till now many of the institution is in the cycle 5 also. And this is because we say cycle 5 because 25 years have been completed recently by NAAC, and we have institution which have been accredited for 25 years. That is a big thing. That's why I am just pointing out that. Now we tell about the quality assurance. Quality assurance means certain benchmark we have said. Benchmark means suppose we talk about the publication. So we say for each academic year, I will just say it is just an example that you have to have minimum publication of 50. Each academic year, every teachers who are working in that particular institution as a joint, as a collaborative, they should have a publication of minimum 50. So that's why certain benchmark has been set up by this our ranking agency, NIRF also, our NBA also, and our NAAC also. I'm specifying only because of NAAC, because I'm from NAAC. I'm just giving more focus on, but I will also talk about the different accreditation agency like NRF and NBA also. But I am basically focusing on NAAC because NAAC is now, as you all know, is now getting mandatory. Many of the states have become as a mandatory aspect for getting an affiliation letter also, for getting new program also. Recently, many of the states, I am looking after Maharashtra also, in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu, this even in Uttar Pradesh, we are getting like most of the colleges are now applying. So it has becoming prevalent, and I think some participant was telling in Assam. In Assam also, this I think it has become a mandatory. We are talking with the advisor of Assam also. So we are continuously in the touch of Assam. They are saying they are making it mandatory. So that's why I am just making more focus on the NAAC terms. And then we talk about the sustainability. Sustainability means suppose the institution has achieved a certain grade, then making it a permanent, a constant, that it should not degrade. Suppose the institution, some institution we also see they have got A grade, but after 5 years they are not having that constant improvement. They are just degrading. They may be having A grade, then after 5 years they are coming again for ANA process of NAAC or in NIRF 1 year or NBA. They are actually degrading in the aspects, means their ranking is getting lower. Means suppose they were in top 100, now they are at least not in top 200 also. In NAAC also we see many of the institutions which are A grade, but still they are not, after 5 years they have come and they were not awarded with at least B plus grade also. So these are the basic terms which the institution has to. That's why we say kindly we assess the institution on annual term. That's why we are kindly submit your AQR, because all this whether we talk about the ranking, whether we talk about the accreditation, this is a constant flow, like the water flow is there. That's why this quality should be continuously supported, constantly upgraded, because when we talk about the improvement, that is very much when we see many of the institutions, when I go in many of the institutions, they ask us what is the benchmark, we should achieve so that we can get a good marks in NAAC. So I always say that is nothing like a good marks is there. So we always, if you want to have a good quality environment, you just don't look at the grade you are getting. Certainly we have recently launched our benchmark. Earlier we have not disclosed our benchmarks. Benchmark means whatever is the minimum value that you can achieve for getting a good marks. There we have a Likert scale on the basis of which we assess the institution which are coming for ANA process with NAAC. But recently benchmark has been disclosed and it is available on our website. So this we say all this accreditation and ranking agency like NBA is I have already told you about that. Now this accreditation document which is being prepared by NAAC or by the NBA or by the NRF is actually for the stakeholders. Stakeholders means the teachers, the students, the parents also. We also consider as the parents also, as also for the alumni also, because in there are 7 criteria on the basis of which we accredit the institution. And in the criteria one, if you have gone through, if you have came for the NAAC ANA process of the NAAC, so you must have noticed that we have given a special focus for the teaching and learning pattern, and it is also being given a special preference in NIRF also and also in NBA. So you can see like in there is a second criteria in the NIRF. There is also certain criteria which especially focus on the teaching and learning. Teaching and learning means like how many teachers who are having the PhD, the net, how many students have been enrolled, what is the mentor to mentee ratio is there. Means we also ask whether there is a mentor to mentee concept, because certainly many of the colleges we are saying that they have introduced this mentor and mentee concept. Means when the students get admission, they have been appointed as a mentor. They may be 15:1 or 20:1. This mentor-mentee concept focuses like whatever the problem during the course of study, when the student gets admission in a particular institution and he studies, so a mentor is assigned. So that's why in our second criteria also we have focused on is there a mentor-mentee concept is there. Then what is the student-centric method, that is whether it is a participative learning or experiential learning is there. And also we have focused on what are the special initiatives taken by the institution for the advanced learner or slow learners. What are the parameters we have set for evaluating, for categorizing this student, whether he is a slow learner or advanced learner or average learner. So all these things I'm just giving mentioning, because these all are already incorporated in one or the other way in all this, whether we talk about ranking or whether we talk about accreditation. This all has been incorporated in our process. Now, there are certain differences. As I said, both symbolizes the quality, but the structure, the way of evaluating is different in the ranking process and in the accreditation process. And similarly, in NBA, there is a structure difference as compared to NAAC. So this accreditation process, as a NAAC, we have a 5-year validity, and ranking is as you all know, it is a yearly affair. It is an annually affair which is given by the NIRF, and then we gave an accreditation based on the absolute grade, means we gave a grade, and also CGPA we are giving in the form of 4-point scale, like we give a 0, 1, 2, 3. So basis of that we calculate the CGPA, and on the basis of CGPA only, there is a certain range is there on the basis of which we award the grade. So grade is depending on the CGPA. So if you are getting, suppose you are getting 3.10, then you are in the grade of A grade. So like this, there is certain grades are being defined, certain range is being defined by the NAAC, so that if you get in that particular CGPA range, then you will get awarded with the certain grades. Now this is the accreditation is like one-time event. One-time event we say, because if you are getting awarded with certain grade, you will be having a validity of 5 years. But for a ranking process, it is a yearly process. You have to continuously come into the ANA in the ranking pattern of NIRF. Now this ranking is a kind of annual report. But similarly to ranking, we also, because this as a NAAC, we always say we talk about the accreditation also, and we also talk about AQR. But AQR doesn't mean that it is a ranking. It is like we have a constant support to the institution. Like suppose your AQR, whenever you come for ANA process of NAAC, so we talk about that there is a process like starting from IAQA to the award of the grade. So in SSR, this SSR, it is called self-study report. The institution has to fill the SSR, and this SSR is actually self-study report which the institution has to provide a data as per with the supporting document. So similarly to that, there is a SAR is there in NBA. So they also talk about, they ask the institution which are coming for NBA process, they ask them to provide the data. So all this process is related to the outcome basis. They will provide the outcome. So but the very only difference between the ranking, the accreditation process is that there is a structural difference. Structural means the way of functioning, the way of evaluating. There is only difference. But in my point of view, in a NAAC point of view, both are symbolizing the quality, basis of which the institution gets the ranking. Now we talk about the NBA accreditation. So this is, as I said, this is under the AICTE. This talks about the profession. This gives the accreditation to professional programs and the engineering programs which comes under the accreditation for NBA. So they have also the certain eligibility that it should be approved by AICTE, and there should be at least 2 batches of student has to be passed, and for management courses there should be at least 3 batches has to be graduated. Now these are the category how the institution can come, the engineering program can come, the architecture can come, the pharmacy. So these are there. Now these are the criterias for the LBA, how they accredit the program depending on this certain, there are 9 criteria as you can say, and there are certain weightages. We talk about weightages, the NBA talk about the marks. So these are the certain weightages. My PPT I said if you are providing the supporting document, whatever the letter sanction post from your government, Assam government, Manipur government, Tripura government, whatever the government is giving. But apart from that, if you are having a letter from your governing body that we have appointed, we have increased the sanction post for this much number, we consider it, sir. Okay. My PPT I said if you are providing the supporting document, whatever the letter sanction post from your government, Assam government, Manipur government, Tripura government, whatever the government is giving. But apart from that, if you are having a letter from your governing body that we have appointed, we have increased the sanction post for this much number, we consider it, sir. Okay. Are from different states. Like suppose in many of the feedback we receive that there are certain colleges we don't have students from different states. So So that's why we say, depending upon the feedback, if you also give a feedback, we will, when we decide we upgrade our manual, we definitely incorporate all this feedback depending on the current situations. So like this, these are the international agencies. We have a collaboration with NAAC and we regularly do upgradation depending on the international standard also. Now, NAAC vision and mission you all know. I will just come to, so this is the latest trend. You can see like the institutions, universities that come for first cycle, then second cycle, which are in third cycle and fourth cycle. I think around 17 universities have come for fifth cycle. They are in the process of NAAC. Certainly for the colleges, this cycle means completion of five. First time institution has come in the cycle 1, then the second cycle, then the third cycle, then the fourth cycle. So I would like to tell you right now, recently one college has been accredited. This is based on the February data. Now, reform process, as I told, yearly actually we update our manual depending on the feedback received. And now the recent manual which we have right now is 3 manual we have upgraded. Like for university, we have now 87 matrices are there, in which 55 matrices are the quantitative matrix, rest 32 are the qualitative matrix. That's why the percentage you are talking about has been changed. It is now 63-64% has been given to the DV partner. Rest we have increased the contribution of peer team members. Now for the autonomous college, we have, earlier it was 107, now it has been reduced to 85 matrices. And for the affiliated colleges, I would like to show you like this. Affiliated colleges is now 55 matrix, 34 quantitative matrix and 21 qualitative matrix has been now been incorporated in new manual. So this affiliated colleges is already being started from previous year in June. Now for 1st February, which the institution are applying, this may be applicable to those institutions which are applying after 1st February. IAQA who are applying after 1st February on or 1st February, for them this matrix will be applicable. But for the affiliated colleges, it has been applicable from the 1st June or 2022. So these are the certain changes we have done in our NAAC ANA process. Now talking about the eligibility or I would like to tell you that you should have the 6 years of existence or 2 batches should be passed out for the NAAC ANA process. Now this one thing we give certain, you can say, add-on for the institution. Suppose you have been awarded certain grade and you are not happy with that grade, you can come again for the reassessment. So reassessment criteria is that when your result was declared, from that day after 1 year and before 3 years. So in this period you can come again for the accreditation process, but it should be the same cycle. Your cycle will not be changed. Suppose for the first cycle you have been accredited, then you can come for the reassessment. You can call it as an improvement, like as a student we give the improvement test. So like that, it is a reassessment we do, and for that the institution has to come for after 1 year from when the grade was awarded and before 3 years. So this is the time duration during which the NAAC, the institution can come for the ANA process of the NAAC. Now this is the, as I said, there are certain ranges is there for the award of the grade. Like if the institution is from 3.51 to 4.00, it has been awarded with the A++ grade. And last grade which we give is 1.51 to 2.00. This is the CGPA we are talking about. And this is actually the stages. The institution has to come for IAQA, then SSR, then DVV. In DVV only there is a SSS process that is student satisfaction survey. Then there is a pre-qualification. If the institution score minimum 25% value. Earlier there was no pre-qualification stages. We have done this because many of the institutions could not get a grade. So if you are pre-qualifying, then only you can come for the peer team visit.